Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Olimar, one of my favourite constructors, has sent us actually a couple of puzzles, but I'm going to look at one of them, obviously. Lizard babies grow so fast. I think that title is probably, I know that Olimar attends our streaming sessions, and during one of those, when we were playing that Dungeons and Dragons game, no, I don't know what we were playing. I sort of can picture it. We were playing a game in a dungeon and there was a very strange scraping sort of sound that sounded like it was made by a being of some sort. And I offered the question, is that a lizard or is it a baby? And chat was absolutely delighted that I thought these were the only two options. And I think that that's what we've got lizard babies into being from. I don't know. Olimar can correct me if I'm wrong. This, I mean, obviously the picture that this puzzle forms looks a bit like a smiling, lizardy possible baby. Lizard babies grow so fast. I mean, I love the idea. I do also love the general construction. There are a lot of puzzles like this with 2 or 3 types of line in our Line Sudoku app. And people, every time I mention the Line Sudoku app and praise it, people agree with me in the comments. So I hope that can be relied on and that basically everybody loves the Line Sudoku app. Give it a try, it is fantastic. If you like those puzzles that only gradually reveal themselves, of course, our latest app is Fog of War Sudoku, and that's fantastic too. So there are links under the video to take you to the apps. There's also links to SVEN'S Sudoku Pad and our merch, and of course links to our Patreon site, where on the 1st of every month we have a puzzle by one of our setters probably, and no, not a puzzle, but a reward, a whole collection of puzzles. This month it is Blobs' fantastic Nurikabi Killer Sudoku, so that is available. Now, also on Patreon, crossword videos, my Times Crossword Monthly Club special is up for this month. It was an incredibly hard puzzle by Mark Kelmanson Monk, and it was brilliant. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff on Patreon, connections, videos and stuff. Do join us there. Of course, on the main channel, we've had Simon Solving with Kurt Hugo Schneider recently, so you could just look at that. I mean, it's a really interesting... When I say Simon Solving with Kurt Hugo Schneider, I mean Kurt Hugo Schneider, the music producer, solving a Sudoku and Simon filling it in for him. Not quite in that form, but virtually. Anyway, that's all the other stuff around the channel. Let's look at the rules of this puzzle. Lizard babies grow so fast. So normal Sudoku rules apply. We're going to put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Adjacent digits on a green line differ by at least 5, so that could be 1 and 6, or 4 and 9, but not 3 and 7. Digits on a purple line are distinct and a consecutive set, but they could be in any order. That's a Renban line. Box borders divide blue lines into segments with equal sums, so that will equal the same as that, will equal the same as that, and that, and that. Black dots indicate digits in a 1 to 2 ratio, so those two will have one will be double the other. So those are the rules. The normal read and sum lines, Renban and German whispers lines. I am going to start the puzzle. I'm just checking it is recording. Yeah, okay, I'm going to start the puzzle now. Let's get cracking. Okay, green lines. Here's the things we know. 5 can't go on a green line because no neighbour is close enough. The lines must alternate between high and low, but we don't know at first which ones are high, so I'm going to use purple and green and hope to convert to orange for high and blue for low. 4 and 6 are difficult to place on these lines because if the cell on a line is in a position where its 2 neighbours can see each other, it can't be 4, for instance. If that was a 4, those would both have to be 9. The same applies to 6. So let's start here. This has got 3 neighbours, and therefore it must be 1, 2, 8 or 9. I'm going to colour this purple because it's on a Renban line with that one. Might be able to do something with this blue line now sitting above that. I'm not sure. Let me try and think that through. No, first of all, let's do the same sort of thing over in this box. Actually, it's a bit better here, because when I do 1, 2, 8 or 9 there, because it's got 3 neighbours, this one is, oh no, this is also green. It's exactly the same as here, but the other colours. Okay, forget what I was thinking of doing. Let's go back to this line. So on this line, we've got one cell equal to the total of those 3. So this 1 must be at least 6, because they have to be at least 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm going to make that blue, which is the colour I'm aiming for high. Now, I don't know which of purple and green is blue, but one of them is. So that's either the 4th blue in its box or the 3rd one in its column. I say that as if it has some significance. Okay, this couldn't be 6, because these 2 segments would have to add up to the same. That would be 5 digits adding up to 12. You can't do that. The minimum for 5 digits is 15. So it also can't be 7 for the same reason, basically, because they would have to add up to 14. If that is 8, there is only one way these can form, and that is 1, 3, 4 here, and 2, 6 here. Oh, that is the same as this, based on the blue line. So that's definitely high. Either that's an 8-9 pair with the green, or it's an 8-9 pair with the purple. It depends whether blue is green or purple. If that's an 8-9 pair, this is a 7. That's quite interesting. 7, 8, 9. That being an 8, these would be 1, 2, 3, and that would be 4, 5, 6. It would be very determined, and blue would be 9. That's if it's high. No, that's if pink is high. So this cell can't be a 9, because that would be an 8 and the Renban would be impossible. Whereas over here, oh no, we do. This can't be a 9 either. No, hang on. Yeah, that's right. If this was a 9, that would be an 8, and this would be impossible. Right. So one of those 2 is a definite 8. And that's good enough to tell us that these 2, which have to be the same, must now be 9s. That's so peculiar. I haven't quite seen a puzzle begin this way. And it can't be right. Oh, it could be. Okay, I was going to say, because I've got a 9-cell Renban line here that sees both ends. No, it's an 8-cell Renban line. I miscounted it. So the digit missing from this Renban line is 9. Every other digit is on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's actually not going to be very helpful. Now, those 3 add up to 9, those 3 add up to 9, these 2. If that was 8, this would be 9, 8, 7. These would add up to 18 from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would leave that one being a 3. But if that's 1 or 2, actually, it cannot be. That's lovely. Right, these 3 cells must include 2 low digits from 1, 2, 3. And I know that because I've got experience of this, and every time you get 1 digit in a Sudoku equal to 3 others that have to be different from each other, those 3 have to include 2 from 1, 2, 3. I mean, the simplest way to see that they must is if they didn't, the minimum that they could add up, the minimum they could be is 1, 4, and 5, adding up to 10, which is too many. So 2 digits from 1, 2, 3 are there. That is going to tell us that this is not from 1, 2, 3, because that would have to be as well then. If that was 1 or 2, this would be 1, 2, and 3, and then we'd have 4 digits from 1, 2, 3 in the column, and they don't exist. So that is an 8. We now know that pink is orange or high. We know that green is blue or low. We've got an 8 there. That's a 7. This is exactly what I forecast, well, when I was thinking what would happen if that was an 8. These are 1, 2, 3. That's 4, 5, 6. Now, it doesn't tell us what go... Oh, yes, again, it does. Those add up to 18 because it's 2 lots of 9. If we add on the 24 down here, that's 42. Take that away from 45, a secret, but the total of every row, column and box, and that makes a 3 there. Now this is low, so it's 1 or 2. The other 2 digits from 1 or 2 will be here, and they will include 3. So it's either 315 or 324 there. These are the other, oh, I've got that coloured in blue and that. They're not blue, they're orange. I don't know why I made them blue, I'm sorry. That didn't help with my explanations, but just human error, bear with me. Those are 6, 7, 8. One of them is a 6, that has to be a 1. This has to be a 2. We've got no 1 in those cells. So they are a 2, 3, 4 set. All of these come from 5, 6, 7, 8. This one is not 7 or 8 in the column. It's adding up to 9 with that, so it's not 6. Look at that, it's lovely. Look at the flow to this. Just excellent. Right, this digit is on a pink line with 6, 7, 8. I was going to say it must be 6, 7, 8 as well, but actually it could be 9, so I need to be careful. However, 2 in the box is now there in the corner, and 1 in the box is actually definitely there. We've got this 1, 2, 3 triple stopping it being there. Now, this digit cannot be 1, 2 or 4, or 3 actually. 3's in a triple there, but it's on a black dot, so it's 6 or 8 with its half counterpart being below it, 3 or 4. That is going to break up some of the possible combinations on this pink line. Now, let's look at these blue cells. That one is 2 or 3. It's in a position where 4 can't go. This can't be 6 anymore because that is 2 or 3. This is 7, 8 or 9, and this is 2, 3 or 4. Actually, I can forbid 4 again because that would have to be 9 on the green line, and it can't be. So that's 2 or 3. We've got a 2, 3 pair. This can't be 7 anymore because one of those must be a 3. Yeah, okay. Along here, that is 1, 2 or 3. This one can't be 4 again because that can't be 9. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 triple there. This is only allowed to be 7 or 9. I'm not ruling out 7 because that could be a 1, 2 pair this time. Now, this is not 9. It's not 6 because that can't be 1, so it's 7 or 8. There aren't that many markings left to deal with. Oh, there's this blue. Haven't thought about that at all. Neither of these digits can be 1, 2 or 3. So the total on this blue line, the N, the number in each segment, is at least 9. Not that helpful, is it? What have we got left in this box? Oh, 3 can be placed there, and this is a 4, 5 pair. 5 in row 3 is somewhere there. Now, 3 on the line means it can't appear in these parts of the line. Ah, 2. Where can 2 be in this box? Not in any of those, and not there because of the 1, 2, 3 triple in the row. So it's in one of these 2 cells, and that's not 2. Where's 2 on this Renban line? It must be there. Everything but 9 is there. 2 can't be in that box where 2 and 3 can't appear because they're a pair already there. So it is in this box, and now this pair of digits is a 1, 3 pair. They must have a 9 between them, not a 7, and that's a 2, and this isn't. Now 1 on the line can't be there, so that gets pushed over to this side. And then 1 in the final column will be in one of those 2 cells, but it won't be there because of this pink line. That can't be 2. So 1 is here, and that fixes the 3-1 pair over here. It's very nice how all these deductions bounce back and forth. I'm going to get a 3 in this corner because I've got a 3 there, a 3 in one of those two cells, a 3 there, and a 3 in one of those two. So that must be 3 in the corner. It can't connect to 2. It proves its position. It's got a 4 there. 4 comes out of these cells, which now add up to at least 11. 2. That can't be 9 or 8 by Sudoku. This is also from 5, 6, 7, which are sort of beginning to form a triple in the row. Now, can I do any more with these? Whichever, oh, 9 can't, 9 is not on the line. 9 is not on the line. Yeah, I don't know. If that's an 8, that'll put 8. Well, it could even be there. Okay, I can't do much more. However, that 4 is looking up to the 5 at the top of the grid. That can't be 5. This is from 6, 7, 8, 9 in this column. I hadn't noticed before, but the 2, 3 pair ruled 2 out of there. I've noticed now. Let's do some colouring. I don't know. I mean, the colouring is probably a bit superfluous at this point, but trying to be nothing if not thorough. There we go with some of the colouring. Now, I'd still want to consider this, but I want a bit more in the box before I have to consider that. Looking up the final column, yeah, okay, these are beginning to get interesting. They can't include 2, 1, or 3. They can only include 1 from 6, 7, 8. That's not quite interesting enough for me. Here, these see 1, 2, 3, 7, 9. So there we are selecting from 4, 5, 6, 8. We're somewhere between 9 and 14. But this line is minimum 11. So the n on this line is now between 11 and 14. And it applies here as well. It's difficult to determine anything more, I think. I'm not really comfortable trying to. Oh, 9 there is looking at that cell. So the 9 in box 9 is done. What do these have to add up to? 11, 12, 13, or 14? I don't know. That's also from 4, 5, 6, 8. There's some number that appears here. 7 in box 8. 7 is in one of those cells, so that becomes an 8. That's quite a big deal. That becomes a 6. 7 is also not there on the line now, so it's in one of those cells, and these become a 6, 8 pair, and that becomes a 5. That was a huge find. It didn't look like something that was important to get hold of at all, and I was completely wrong. Now, 6, and there is one of 4 or 5 there. 6 does not appear on that bit of the line. It must appear on this bit of the line. Oh, actually, I can do much better than that by reading the other numbers in this column. This is a 1, 5, 6 triple. This line is now 3, 1, 5, 6, 8. This must be 2, 4, 7. That gives me a 5 there, 4 in the corner. 5, 6, 8 here. Now this blue line, we know exactly, it's 13. So that's a 5, 8 pair, that's a 6. This pair adds up to 13, and we've got 4, 7, 9 to select from. So I'm going to choose 4, 9. That's a 7. These, good Lord, they've just become 1, 2, 6, which does add up to 9, thank goodness. 4, 6, 5, that can't be 6. We're going to get to that. I still haven't got there yet. Oh, don't say I'm a bit stuck now. One of those two is a 7 in the row, so I'm taking 7 out of those cells. 7 almost has to be on this pink line, but not quite. These, okay. Okay, I'm going to think about the black dot and the pink line here. So, These can't contain both 3 and 4, or that would be broken. However, could this be below that? If this was 1, 2, 3 with a 4 there, you couldn't make up the black dot because you'd only have 6 and 8 left as black dot digits and they don't go together. So this is at least 4, 5, 6 now. It's 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9. If it was 4, 5, 6, that would be a 3, and this would have to be a 2, 1 pair. That would force 3, 4, and 7 in the column. That's if this was 4, 5, 6. I can't quite falsify the possibilities there, so I don't know. I begin to get the feeling the puzzle's going to get quite hard at this point. 9. Oh, that's a 4, 9 pair, so this is an 8. Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong. That's a 7, and that's suddenly obvious from that 6, 8 pair. I just didn't see all these obvious things a moment ago. Now, oh, this black dot cannot have a 6 on it by Sudoku. So it's from the 1, 2, 4, 8 family, and 8 is now ruled out of that cell. Maybe it's about the other digits in this column. We still have 5, 7, and 9 to place. 7 could be there, but otherwise these 3 digits are the homes for 5, 7, and 9. I don't know, I find it difficult to know what to do with that information. One, 2, 6 there, 1, 5, 6 here. Doesn't feel helpful. That's 5, 6, or 8. This is 5, 8, or 9. 1 and 7 must be in these cells. That's just not interesting. Okay, it is about this black dot and this renban, which I fear is going to be very high. Now, if 8 was there, that would be 8, 4. That would be 3. The only way you could form this would be 5, 6, 7. That would give me a 5, 6, 7 triple in the column. Oh, where's 9 in this column? It's either there or it's definitely on the renban, which would have to be 9, 8, 7 then. If 9 was there, is that powerful? Ah, where's 1? Oh no, I was going to say where's 1 in the column? 1, it is quite interesting. 1 can't be on this renban because we worked out 1, 2, 3 there makes that a 4, and this is impossible. So if 1 can't be there, it's either here, but it could be here. I don't know, I'm finding this difficult. This, we said the minimum was 4, 5, 6. That would lead to a 4, 5, 6, 8 quad. Five, 6, 7, same quad. 6, 7, 8, same quad. Same 4 digits, but 4, 5, 6, 8 would be a different grouping from 5, 6, 7, 8. All of them, of course, would leave a 9 up here. But the other alternative is that 9 is in one of these 2 cells. I don't know. Okay, Sudoku. This is 3, 8, or 9 because of what it sees in its row and column. Now, if that was a 3, we've got quite a bit going on elsewhere, but not enough to actually put in the right digits. I think this is a tough part of the puzzle. I really do. 6 and 9 must be in those cells. Ah, well, that's interesting. So either 6 or 9 is on this pink dot. And they're not both on this pink dot, so that can't be 8. That is the other of 6 or 9. This is either 9 on top of 8 or 6 on top of 7. So and now I seem to therefore, sorry, 9 on top of 8 or 6 on top of 7. Why did I say that? Why couldn't it be 7 on top of 6? What was my pencil marking a moment ago? It was like that. Oh, it can't be 7 on top of 6 because 7 in the row is in one of those cells. So I am right. It's either 9 on top of 8 or 6 on top of 7. And that leaves me with a 7-8 pair there. I mean, it's going to solve those two cells for me in the corner. It's probably not going to do anything else. However, we have got a 6-9 pair in this column that I think has sort of been available for a long time. Yeah, I don't know that it does much else. 5 and 8 are definitely in this row. Oh, good Lord. I know I'm struggling a bit here, but I think it's the puzzle. It's not me. Gosh, this is going to be hard to crack. Okay, let's just think about that being 8, 4. If that's a 4, this is a 1, 2 pair. Oh, this tells me something about this cell. That's so peculiar. Am I right here? If that's 8, 4, this is a 1, 2 pair, and that's a 3. If that's 6, 3, this is a 1, and that's a 3. So that's always a 3. That's always a 1. I mean, is that going to help? It doesn't feel like it should. These are from 1679. Oh, that's 2 or 4. Well, the other of 2 or 4 must be on this black dot. Yes, that 3 really does help. It reduces that to 2 or 4. The other of 2 or 4 in column 4 must be on that black dot because it's either 1, 2 or 4, 8 now. And that can't be 2 or 4. That's a 7. Now, we're going to carry this across in a moment, but first of all, I'm taking 7 out of that cell. Now, I've got a 2, 3, 4 triple in this column. I mean, I thought that was going to be helpful. It's not really, but it does tell me that these are from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There must be a 7 on this line now. Hang on, that's not quite true. What if this was a 4 and that was a 5, 6 pair? That wouldn't work because this would be a 5, 6, 8 triple in 4 cells. So that's not a 4. So this is also from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there is a 7 on this Renban. 2 or 4 there, 2 or 4 in these cells. So this is 1, 5, 8 or 9. Never afraid to over pencil mark a situation. But it's not getting me anywhere. Now what's more likely here? 4, 8 would really constrain this to be 5, 6, 7. And that would be 3. 9 would have to be here. That's quite interesting. So if this was 4-8, that would end up being a 1-2 pair. If this is not 4-8, it's a 1-2 pair. So there's either a 1-2 pair here in yellow or one here in violet. That means this can't be a 1. That doesn't mean anything for this row, does it? Well, nearly. Where are the low digits? These are all from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not quite enough. I don't think any of the lines are going to help me out anymore. It's just the black dots now. If that was 1, 2, this would be 4, that would be 3. 9 is gone. Wow, I'm finding this very difficult. 8 is looking at that cell, so that's not an 8. 8 doesn't have to be on this ren band, but if it is, it's in one of those two. Okay, if that's 4-8, that's 2. Never mind that. If that's 4-8, that's 3. And this is 5, 6, 7. And 9 goes there because that's the only place it can go. Excuse me a moment. I've got a TV noise to switch off. Sorry, that was my own fault. Right, what I was just saying is if this is 4-8, that's 5, 6, 7, and the only place for 9 in the box is there. So if that's 4-8, that's a 9. If that's 1, 2, that's a 9. It's not that helpful, except that it stops this being a 9. I'm going to take that, because now I know that 9, that's a 5, 6, 8 triple. That's 9 in box 1. This is a 6, and the ren band gives me the remaining digits there. So actually, that might have been quite helpful. That 6 can come out of those cells. Now, I've got 3 or 9 here, 7 there. I mean, it almost was helpful. Again, let's keep thinking. If that was 1, 2. No, if it was 4-8, that's the constraining one. 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 1, 2 there. I can't quite see how this is working. Okay, if that is a 6, I was about to say that's an 8. That's certainly not a conclusion I could draw. I think 8-4 is the wrong version. So why? If that's 8, that's 4. This is 5. That's 6. I don't know. There's something. I mean, there is certainly scope for there to be a revelation that yields kind of the same effect, whichever you choose. So let's think again. The trouble is there are so many ramifications to look at. It's not easy. If that was 8 and that's 4, that's a 1-2 pair. Oh, here's something interesting though then. If that's 8 and that's 4, that's a 1-2 pair, that's 9, that's 7. And that is going to force that to be a 7. Which also forces that. I mean, it does a lot for 7s. But maybe not much else for any other digit. No? Okay, that was a bit of a dead end. Ah, right, here we go. Where's 3 in row 5? Because if that is a 4-8 pair, that's a 1-2 pair. Oh, well, so what? If that's a 1, 2, I thought that was going to stop this being a 3. I'm not sure anymore. If that is a 1, 2 pair, you've got 9 there. Okay, let's actually work it from the possibility that this central cell is a 3, and maybe that can get ruled out somehow. If that's a 3, this is 4, that's 8. This is 5. And this is 6. If that's a 3, that's 4. What did I say? That was 8. I don't know. 7 is on that line. Ah, yes, I do know. Do I? No. 1 digit from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is in this 2 by 2. Now it could be there, being an 8. Otherwise it's one of these two. And then in the column, if it is one of those violet digits, the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in this column are there, 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 and there. And that would be a 1. There must be some way of seeing this more clearly as a group. I can't do it. I can't do it. Come on, Mark. There's a breakthrough waiting to happen here. I have no trouble believing that there is only one way to solve this, but I don't know what that is now. Okay, if that's 8, 4, and that's a 3. Then the high digit, there is no high digit here. In fact, if that's 8, 4, and that's a 3, this is 5, 6, 7. That's the whole point. And that's a 9. That would be 1. That would be 7. This would be 5, 6, 7. With a 7 there. It doesn't seem to break. I have to say, it doesn't seem to break. Still trying to look at the ramifications of this. And I mean, here's another interesting question. Where's 9 in this row? Those are the only 2 cells available, but it can only go there if it is the big digit in this 2 by 2. Oh, 9 can't be there. Where's 9 in this row? It is the breakthrough question. Maybe. Maybe it's not a breakthrough. It feels like one, because that 9 is stopping that being a 9. All of the pencil marking doesn't allow a 9 anywhere except there. So that is a 9. It probably isn't the breakthrough question, but it felt good. It felt good. Now, where's 9 in this row? No, not as good. Because we've got that group and those cells all available for 9s. In the rest of the puzzle, botheration. Goodness gracious. I know I'm struggling here, but I can't help it. That's where we are at the moment. 7 is in one of those 2. 8 is in one of those 2. This row, has it been restricted at all by 9 and 7 coming out of it now? Really not. I've got that 2, 3, 4 triple. I've had that for ages now. Oh, just don't know. 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 6, 8. There must be a very simple solution to this. Nine in this row. It's either in one, no, it's either there or there. If it's there, this is 9, 8, 7. That's a 5. What does that do? What does that do? It must do something in this row. If that's 9, 8, 7, that's a 5. Also, we'd have a 9, 8, 7 triple up here in column 6. That would be 6. That would have to be 3. If that's 9, 8, 7, that's a 3. But if that's not 9, 8, 7, then we've got 9s there in the column, there in the row, there in the box. Wow, this is doing my head in now. I don't know. I cannot tell. I cannot tell what's going on. Here's another thought. 2, 3, and 4 in this column. One of them's there, one of them's there. The other one is in this violet domino. But I've said all along, if that's a 4, 8 pair, that's 1, 2, and that would be the other one. Oh, good gracious, I don't know. If that's 4, 8, that's a 2, that's 5, 9, 1. If that's 1, 2, that's a 9, that's a 4. Then I'm left with a 5, 8 pair. Okay, let's work on the implausible. 4, 8 there. That makes this 5, 6, 7 and that 9, and this 1, 2, and that 3. So 4, 8 there makes that 3. 1, 2 here, does that do anything to this? 1, 2 here makes that 4, and that 9, and this 7. Now that forces 7. Okay, that's interesting. If that's 1, 2, that's 9, that's 7, and this is 7 on the Renban. 6 or 8 must be in one of those cells. And that's the other of 6 or 8, and this would then have to be a 5. That's quite convoluted, but it's still true. If that was 4, 8 instead, then this is 5, 6, 7. That's an X-wing on 5s, and that would be a 5. If this is 4, 8, that would be a 5 because of the X-wing on 5s. That would have to be a 9. And that would be a 1. If this is 1, 2, I don't know. It doesn't work. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. If that's 1, 2, that's a 1, 9. This goes 9, 1, 7. If that's 4, 8, that's the 9. One of these would just break under bifurcation. I don't know which one it is. I cannot work it out at all. It's something to do with this Renban and its impossibilities. It really is. But what is it? Okay. Okay, let's just have another think. If this was a 4, that would be 1, 2. If this was a 4, that would be 1, 2. That would be a 4. For a dim moment there, I thought I was actually going to get this. That would be 3. That would be 2. If this was 4, that would be 1, 2. That would be a 2. That would be a 2. If that was 4, this would be 1, 2. Come on, Mark. See it. See it now. 9, 8, 5. If that was 1, 2, this would be a 5 then. No, if that was 4, this would be 1, 2. That would end up being a 5 because of something. If that was 4, that would be 1, 2. I did see this a moment ago in my head. I really did. Now I can't recapture it. If that were, I don't know if it matters, but it was something I could see a moment ago. If that was a 4, this is 1, 2. The 9, because that makes that a 9, the 9 in the box ends up here. So if that's a 4, this has to be 9, 8, 7. And that's 5, and that's 3, 6. If that's a 4, that's 3, 6. If it's a 3 here, which makes that a 6. Now what did that do? It made this a 3. Oh, this became a 2. Three, 6 if that's a 4. If it's not, what's happening? If that's a 3, there are some interesting ramifications. You get 2, 3, 7, 3. That 7 forces 7 to here. That makes that 9, and this 1. So if that's a 3, because of 3 there, 7 there, 7 there, 9 there, 1 there, this is a 4, 8 pair. If that's a 3, this is a 4, 8 pair. And that's 5, 6, 7, and that's 9. But if that's a 4, so this is either 3, 6 if it's a 4 there, or 1, 2 if it's a 3 there. I mean, peculiarly bizarre, but that's all true. Now, what does that leave in this column? Does it leave something? These are from 1, 2, 3, 6. If they were 1 and 2, we'd have 4, 3. Nine obviously gone. Everything else would be from 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be 7. But if they were 3, 6, we'd have a 5, 8 pair here, and that would be 7, and that would be 1. And it's the other way around. Oh no! I rather think I've almost proved that 7 is either there or there, but I don't know that I can actually rely on that, because that was just a feeling of what I'd come across. Oh, it's a German whisper move. I mean, let's just sob for 15 minutes. You've been shouting this at the screen, maybe 20 minutes? I don't know how long. And I've just not noticed that. Oh, it's dreadful, isn't it? It's so dreadful. I'm sorry, it's a live solve. This kind of nonsense sometimes happens. 7 connecting with that must be a 2. Now I can do all sorts of things, and they're probably very straightforward indeed. And it's no wonder I couldn't get through it the other normal way. Oh, there is a 3 in one of those, so it's not there. Okay, let's just hope that this sorts it all out in a rush. That 7's looking up to the top. I mean, I've really spent that time getting a fairly good grasp of what's going on in the rest of the puzzle, if I'm honest. This is an 8 and a 4. So it ought to go quite quickly now. But my goodness, I mean, it's humiliatingly embarrassing. It's just dreadful. Anyway, it's happening now, and I'm so sorry, German Whisper. I thought I'd done everything on the lines. I know that seems a fatuous claim at this point, but I really did. Oh, I feel so bad. I mean, not bad enough to not do this again tomorrow and try again and pit myself against the vagaries of the Sudoku gods and my own incompetence, but I feel pretty bad. Now, this is a 3 now. That's a 6, that's an 8. It is quite straightforward once you see the bleeding obvious, as the two Ronnies used to put it. Right, there we go, a 1 here, and that's it. It was really a lot easier than 47 minutes. So embarrassing. And there we are. I put my naked lunacy out here for you to see. And of course, all the comments I understand will be about me not spotting that connection. But I didn't know I was still meant to look for it. I mean, what can I say? Except grovelling apologies. Thank you for watching. It's a trial sometimes, I know. I'll see you again tomorrow, though. More of this and hopefully less stupidity. Bye for now.